Welcome to Vomiting Rainbows.
Thanks. Hi.
Hey, thanks for joining us. On this episode, we talk about freezer safety.
Freezer safety.
Yeah.
I thought you said freeze our safety, like we wanted our safety to like go into a cryogenic freeze and live longer when the future technology catches up. But that's not what you said.
No, that's not what I said at all. Then we also talk about fucking felons. And then we talk
banging prisoners.
Yeah, that too. We also talk about why it's never a good idea to fake your death.
Right.
Never a good idea. So listen and enjoy. How you doing, buddy?
Good. You know what I was just thinking?
That I should stop looking at Facebook?
No. I think you should look at Facebook whenever you want. I'm like people's Facebook rights.
Okay.
I don't know that I should probably stop looking at it as much as I do. I was thinking, you know how people make like funny the look on your face. You know how people make funny noises when they talk to like cats?
Yeah.
And babies?
Right.
Like
really high voice.
Hi Ben, hi.
Right.
Do you think in cats and dogs and animals' heads they have like a voice for us?
Yeah.
And is it super low?
I think they cry.
What?
They cry. Like they don't talk to each other by crying unless they're fighting.
What are you talking about? They cry. What?
Well, cats meow for humans, pretty much.
Right. And is that what I'm saying is when we talk to a cat and they hear this, hi, are they trying to talk to us in like a lower, like when cats talk to each other?
I'm paying attention. I'm not just looking at my phone.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
When cats are talking to each other, is it a different tone than when they're meowing at us? Because the same way when you and I are talking right now, if I look to Ben and I go, hi, Ben, I wouldn't go, hi, Ben. I can't even, like, my body won't let me do that. I have to go, hi, Ben.
Yeah,
hi, Ben. And see, he responds. So when Ben then meows at us, is he going like, hi, Doug. Hi, Joe. And then when he talks to his buddies, he's like,
hey,
those
what's
fucking
up,
guys
dude?
are stupid.
That's retarded. I hope they give me more food.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. That's all.
All right. Well, welcome to Vomiting Rainbows.
Yeah.
This is a dark news podcast where I tell my buddy Joe some stories that he knows really nothing about, and then he chews them up and spits them back in a colorful rainbow.
And to clarify, I'm not aware of the stories. It's not that I'm not intelligent to like understanding what they're about. I just think we should clarify that.
I thought it was pretty clear.
Fair enough.
And then, of course, right now, Ben is going to be highly active. He's also a member of the show, and he likes to get right in there. Like
he likes to be on the broadcast.
If you watch the broadcast on the live stream, then you'll notice that Ben is extremely active.
You're probably looking at his balls right now. He's literally teabagging the iPhone broadcast.
Yeah,
the camera,
dude.
I mean, literally, he's teabagging it.
That is a Canon Red. That's all we shoot.
Oh,
with.
right. Yeah,
it's definitely not an iPod with a lens on it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not. Yep. It's
high quality broadcasting.
More than
right
a DSLR,
here.
really. Yeah.
Definitely a DSLR.
Ben, get your butt out of the camera for Lord's sakes.
Well, you know.
Wish that was okay.
All right. So the first one for the podcast is, I think you're going to enjoy this one because it's like a little spooky. Yeah. So
have I? Okay.
Yeah.
What in our relationship suggested that I enjoy spooky things?
Dude, see now on mine, am I in the same level in your ears that I am? Like it looks like either that or I'm just quieter.
Wait. Oh, the volume?
Yeah.
Say something.
So I'm just talking normal.
Yeah. Look at mine. They're the same volume.
All right, cool.
More importantly, look at how the broadcast is flipped.
Yeah, that's
north to south.
That's fine.
Interesting. Hi.
So this one, I mean, I thought about, obviously we could talk about Tribe Called Quest breaking up or
Wait, what? God damn it, dude. How is that not on my Facebook feed?
I just thought, it started off by like bringing you down a little bit.
Are you messing with me, or did that happen today?
They did their last show quietly, like in the UK or something, in Europe.
Dude, they're just, I don't know. I don't believe anything they say anymore. After Outside Lands, after we're standing
and
the
waiting?
second day waiting and then walking across the field, like
we could ask
and the
our friend
cancellation
Peter.
is 10 minutes in advance. yeah. Is there anyone in the UK who can check on if Tribe's actually broken up or not? Are they on the UK stage?
Yeah, are they there right now? If you could just send us a message, that'd be great.
Very honestly, knowing their history, what does your heart tell you? What percentage of likelihood is that true?
I think they got in a big fight, and I think that's why they didn't make their Outside Land show. And then because of that, they probably lost a lot of money, got upset again with each other, and then they did their last gig, and they were like, "Fuck this, I'm done."
But that still seems like it's something that
could be rectified. And
yeah, and like, well, in the very, very, very least, I would think, and this maybe isn't a consolation to any of us as fans wanting to see them probably sooner than later, in like 10 years, right?
Okay.
Like, why would you? Because in 10 years, if they were to break up today and then in 10 years come back, they would still have a profile, I would say, that's pretty high. Maybe it weakens a little bit, but I would say that's not their last show. But granted, to your point, if they don't play for another 10 years, I would consider that a legit breakup, obviously.
Yeah, I think we'll hear from them shortly.
Okay.
But, Kanika Jenkins is a girl from Chicago. She's 19 years old. She went out to hit the town to party with her friends. They rented a hotel room, and it was at the Rosemont Crown Plaza. Around 11 o'clock.
Your cat's eating cardboard right now. I'd just like to point out.
Just you smack him.
This is why I just like to also point out. This is why like Howard Stern doesn't have a pet cat in his studio.
Are you saying
it doesn't go great for radio?
Okay. Well,
I don't mean to criticize you. You know what? I feel bad now. I'm sorry. You're a wonderful host. I really appreciate our time together.
Maybe that's what like Letterman and all these people are missing. It's like a
cat.
Yeah.
That would actually be kind of cool if a late night show had a cat. But you can't throw real things at him.
I didn't even hit him.
Yeah, but you don't know that you have such good aim.
I do.
Think if it like a late night show just had like a cat that
Dude, you haven't seen me play
in
softball.
Its own way. Oh, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Which is why I said you should throw nothing at Ben.
Fair point.
So if they had a cat running around on a late night show and they had like a cat cam, like a little GoPro, get a sponsorship in there, you know what I mean? And then the cat's running around POV and it's going to the audience and stuff, and then it's like either a picture-in-picture every once in a while they just cut to let's see Ben's world.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think I would go for that.
Yeah, maybe even cruises around like the city.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, you want to make sure he's safe.
Yeah, Ben can't do that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so back to our story already in progress.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to a hotel room with a bunch of her friends. She spoke to her sister at 1 a.m. And
what do you have to do with this, Alexa? Why would so this happened before? Why would she talk to you right now? What did you say that would? And I don't know if you guys heard that, but I think Alexa voice activation just went off.
I said,
hey?
I said,
what was that?
Jesus Christ, there's so many things going on.
Alexa's making weird I'm freaking out. Dude.
Okay. Well, what happened is I said she last spoke to her sister, but I said it quick and kind of maybe slurred, and so it sounded like maybe. That's all I can think of.
That's a stretch. She last spoke to her sister. She last spoke to her sister. She last spoke to her sister.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Well, that sounded like a punk song that you were going to start.
That's actually a Black Flag song.
Is it? Yeah. I last spoke to her sister.
Yeah, it's a little bit like harsher when Henry Rollins sings it,
right?
But that's kind of like.
Why are you backing up? Like you're gonna start looking at? You're cheating. You're
what?
looking at my notes.
I didn't look at that. See, this is what happens when I play poker, man. I'm just looking in that direction. I'm not looking at your cards.
I might have to.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we might have to start this one over.
Should we just stop? Can we just end this?
No.
I mean, we're 10 minutes in. I think that's respectable.
Okay.
Is 10 minutes respectable if it's expected to be 50 minutes?
Thank you for listening. Goodbye. That's Vomiting Rainbows. Yeah. No. So she last spoke to her sister. She was excited because she had quit her nursing job, and she was pretty drunk, and she was celebrating. Her sister said around 1:30 a.m.
Okay.
Around 4 a.m. Saturday, that was on Friday night, 4 a.m. on Saturday, her friends became concerned because they lost track of her and were not able to find her. They were still at the hotel.
Okay.
The friends told her mom, Teresa Martin, that the car that they were in her car because she had lent it to them, and they had her cell phone. That just seems weird to me.
Wait a minute. So
they had her car.
Did you just jump ahead from the story to like retrospect of the story?
No, I'm just saying like that's they.
When were the friends talking about having someone's car?
Well, I think I did skip.
You're jumping all over the damn place.
I think I just forgot to say that she called. The friends told her mom. When I guess she called them.
So Saturday, still no Teresa.
Around 4 a.m.
Is her name Teresa?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. It is Kanika.
Wait, where did I get Teresa from? I guess it sounds similar.
No, it's Kanika Jenkins, and Teresa is her mom.
Okay. So Kanika didn't show up, went to this thing Friday, didn't show up anywhere Saturday. Then you're referring now to a point where Kanika's friends are talking to Teresa, the mom,
right,
and telling her that they had Kanika's car and keys.
Yep.
Okay, I got it. I got this.
And her phone.
And it's weird already, man. This is like a Serial season 1 kind of deal.
Yeah. So her mom then, very concerned, went to the hotel at 5 a.m. on Saturday and asked the hotel manager to help her find her daughter.
Right.
The hotel staff took
at 5 a.m.
Yeah, at 5 a.m.
So wait, what time on Saturday was she talking to Kanika's friends?
At 4 a.m.
Wow.
And they said that they were concerned as well because they didn't know where she was.
Yeah.
So her mom freaks out. Also, she'd lied to her mom and said that she was going out bowling, but instead she was at this fucking crazy party at the Crown Hotel, Rosemont Crown. So Martin then looked at the Teresa Martin, her mom, took the hotel staff, and they looked at the video surveillance, or told the staff to look at the video surveillance, and they said they needed a missing persons report to do that, and they could not allow her, and they weren't going to do it until they had a real missing persons report.
Interesting.
But they said they would start searching the hotel,
So
they started looking for her in the hotel, and Martin then went to the Rosemont police, and they told her to wait a few hours before filing missing persons report.
Man, see, that's the kind of thing that maybe it's completely sensible because so many people are requesting that at moments where it's completely unnecessary or turns out to not be a case.
Right.
But the one time or the 10 times or the 1,000 times that you request that and those 2 hours go by and something bad happens,
that's the worst.
Yeah, man.
So she waited. She finally got the missing persons report filed.
Right.
And on Saturday morning, the authorities notified the hotel that they were looking for this missing person, and that was around 1:15 p.m.
Okay.
So we're talking like hours have passed.
So 5 a.m., then 6 a.m. she's at the hotel.
And now it's 1 Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
And at that point, they had already been actively canvassing the hotel staff, trying to find this girl. They said they looked at all the video, and they did not see her daughter in the hotel.
At 1 p.m. when they got the missing persons, they began looking through all the videos.
No, around 3 or 4 p.m. is when they started looking at the video.
Oh, Jesus.
So around 6 p.m., the family returned.
Mm-hmm.
And
because I don't remember what my point was anymore.
Okay, so we had a little hiccup right there. But basically around 6 p.m., the family returned to the hotel. And they started knocking on all the doors because they weren't getting any assistance from the hotel staff. They felt like they were being ignored.
Okay.
So they started knocking on all the hotel rooms doors and saying, "Have you seen our daughter? Have you seen our daughter? Have you seen our daughter?"
Dude, I do the same damn thing, man.
Yeah, of course.
At that point, you like, screw them.
They were tweaking.
Yeah.
So the hotel calls the police. The police come. They tell them they have to leave and allow the police to handle the matter.
The family has to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And the family says, "We're not leaving." So the police officer actually feels really bad and decides to review with the family the footage.
Oh, Jesus.
At that
And
point,
this is really good, but I'm scared at what they're going to find.
yeah. So at that point, they start reviewing the footage,
Which the hotel has said they already looked through.
And they didn't see
find
her.
anything. Okay.
Right. And so they start viewing that footage, and then the family sees the daughter staggering through the lobby completely drunk, like bumping into the wall, like barely able to stand up, like holding onto the wall for quite some time.
What?
They said, as her mom said, it was staggering how drunk she was, and no one was helping her. Like, you could see the hotel staff. So,
what the F?
Yeah, and that video was around 3:20 a.m. Saturday morning. So
Dang. So not even that long before when the mom found out at 5.
Right.
Or
so
4 even.
Yeah, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
If they had started looking for her, not to allude that something bad's going to happen to her, but I think we all know something bad's going to happen. So they finally got to view that video at 10 p.m. on Saturday.
I mean,
I couldn't even
so
imagine.
dark, but could you imagine being the parent?
No
I would
way. I'd be freaked out.
You'd be, I don't even know. To like think of the hotel staff who's like watching the video with you, who just told you they didn't find anything and didn't do anything when your wasted daughter was like wandering through the lobby.
Right, who's 19.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, 19. So kind of, did you ever see the story of Lisa Lam?
No.
So she was staying at the Cecil Hotel in L.A., and she was kind of meandering around the hotel, and her family called to try and find out why they hadn't heard from their daughter, because they heard from her every day, and the hotel couldn't find her anywhere in the hotel. And then people started complaining about the water, saying it was like a really weird color, and then it turned out like maybe 3 weeks later, her body she somehow had gotten to the roof and was in one of the water tanks decomposing, and people were like showering. It was crazy.
That counts as one of the 3 stories for the show today.
Does it?
Yeah.
So if you ever get a chance to watch American Horror Story.
Dude.
Have you watched it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not into this. I'm not into this darkness.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, at the Cecil Hotel, 2 of the other famous guests, other than Elisa Lam, who went missing, and then they found her in the water thing.
Inside the water tank?
Inside the water tank.
And why is there a water tank? Wouldn't there be like underground water, like plumbing?
It's just water
piping?
storage.
Is plumbing still a part of water, or just poop?
I think for a hotel, you always have to have water tanks on top because they use so much water.
Got it.
And so the Richard Ramirez was also one of the people who was there. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about.
Okay, let's go back.
Spend 10 minutes on Ramirez.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
I know you would like to, but we can go on. So the family remained at the hotel until 1 a.m. on Sunday, and then the police then told them that they'd finally located their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She had gotten into a freezer, and looks like she laid down in the freezer. And
like a huge walk-in
freezer.
Okay.
And an area of the hotel that was under renovation. That's why they didn't know where she was.
Yeah.
And had looked like she had passed out or fallen asleep and froze to death.
Good.
So that's why that time frame is so critical, because if they had started looking for her and had actually found her
at 5 a.m,
her parents were just lived. Yeah, her parents are just irate.
Absolutely.
So her parents said.
So wait, how do they? At that point, they just found her by continuing to look.
Yeah.
And the hotel staff from 5 a.m. till like going back on the timeline, the mom finds out at 5. Maybe the hotel gets word from the mom at 6. They say we need a missing persons to check the video, but we're checking the grounds, and maybe they did, but they just didn't check the renovated side.
Exactly. They didn't think any guests
all day. They didn't even look.
Their kind of response to not being able to locate her was the fact that she was in a part of the hotel that no guest should be in.
And What was their response to the staff seeing this? Really, they didn't know that was the same girl. The
Yeah,
3:30 stumbling girl.
Yeah, they just didn't think it was
Piece
her.
that together. Okay.
Yeah. So they said the mom and sisters really find it hard to believe that the stumbling drunk girl pulled open this extremely heavy fridge door that has like one of those belt, like you know, the really strong, like
right,
and then somehow shut herself into the fridge.
Well, wouldn't it shut on its? Or no, you really have to pull it close.
I think
too.
you probably have to pull it close. Plus, if you're freezing, there's a latch, so it's not like an old timey fridge that you couldn't get out of. She should have been able to push her way out.
Right.
So that's kind of where they are.
Right.
They're also they said the lack of urgency by the hotel staff and the police. They feel like led to their daughter's demise because she probably could have been saved.
I mean, that's seems pretty justifiable.
Right. So during this whole time, there's a video that's circulating around her friends of a Facebook live stream, and that Facebook live stream shows a girl who has like these mirrored sunglasses on, and she's just talking to the camera about having a party, and it's one of her friends.
Okay.
And so that girl, at one point, they hear like the bathroom open, and a guy apparently comes out. She looks at the guy because you can see it in the mirror sunglasses, and then you hear a girl like crying and whimpering, and then not long after that, another guy in the room says, "We're going to murder someone." And then the girl turns up the music real loud.
What the F, dude?
I know.
Okay, so hold on. Is this a public video?
It's very public.
You've
now.
seen this?
It's viral now.
When did this thing happen?
It happened on Friday last week. So now there are a bunch of amateur sleuths that have been like tagging Kanika Jenkins, like a hashtag Kanika Jenkins, and posting like their theories and like timestamps of where you can see things in the video. And especially because she was wearing the mirrored glasses, people are like encouraging other people to use video software to kind of increase the resolution and audio. They're looking for audio engineers to like single out the background noise to hear what was going on.
But there's no proof anywhere that Kanika was in view or...
No, there is. Or they know that she was in the room.
Okay, so you can see her through these glasses.
I don't think you can see her, but people say they can hear her. So they're pretty sure she was in the room.
Wow.
And
what time was it broadcast?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think it was early in the morning. Like it was around that.
Obviously before 3:30.
Yeah, because they were already in her car at 3:30 when the mom called. So.
But wait a minute here. So is the thought that they would have drugged her and that's what got her so wasted? Or is the thought that these people like followed her and killed her? Because if it was the latter, wouldn't there be video surveillance of like people also walking through the lobby towards this like renovated, or wouldn't there be like a video that's the closest to the entrance to the renovated side of the hotel that you could see these people? They have that.
You would think that way.
Right.
I don't know.
And maybe they do, they just don't.
But the police is very aware. They're very aware now of the video.
Right.
They say they're investigating the video as well. One of the so the mom actually said that she talked to all the friends that were all of Kanika's friends that were at the party.
Yeah.
And she said all their stories are continually changing, and she's extremely frustrated with that.
Right. Also, I mean, as far as now that it gets into the world of if this video surveillance thing and with the reflection and with the audio, and let's say you even pull a lot of that from it, there's the entire CSI side of, well, what was in her body? Was she drugged? Was she physically, harm showing? I mean,
and they're not really.
And maybe they just haven't announced that, if that's the case.
Right.
Otherwise, these theories are probably unsubstantiated. If you'd be able to point to at least one other thing.
Right. And this could be just people hearing what they want to hear in the background of the video. So the other thing is one of Kanika's family members wrote on Facebook on another girl's page, "One of you little bitches did something to my sister." So they really are pointing the finger.
Yeah.
And so Monifa is another one of her friends who posted about what was going on. And she said everybody was really tight. She said that she was Kanika was a very sweet girl, and that the other whoever is posting this said that she Monifa posted that she was a mean girl, like a really mean girl. And she said, "I'm sorry this happened to you. You didn't deserve this, but we were sisters for life." And then she also posted, "Everybody's just trying to point fingers." And this is before they found her. So she said, "Everybody's just pointing fingers. Let's just pray she makes it home okay." And then after they found her, Monifa's page was just flooded with comments and people saying that she knew more than she was talking about. And she said, she posted again on her site, "Can you leave me alone? She's been my best friend from the 3rd grade. We literally called ourselves Nene twins. We slept together all the time. We broke bread. She was my ace. This is hurting me. We had trips and shit planned. I'm sorry. We were sisters for life again. She was my best friend. I would never do anything to harm her. Just leave me alone."
Yeah.
So I'm guessing she's just getting berated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. But the other girl who had the mirrored sunglasses on, she took down her page. So she obviously doesn't want anyone there.
Doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, and that's understandable as well. There was an autopsy performed on Sunday, and the spokeswoman for the examiner's office said they don't see any immediate clarity on how she died or if there was foul play. So,
super freaking sad. Dang, man. And it's hard with, like, when you think about these friends, or maybe not friends, but no one knows what happened yet, and it's probably not a combination. Like, either
this guy knows what happened,
except for Ben.
Ben knows what happened.
But either these girls were best friends and she lost her best friend, and that is insanely horrific. She should not have to listen to a single negative comment in the world right now, or she killed her, or it's the other thing. But the fact that people don't know, I mean, that's what kind of bums me out. People don't know. And I feel like, on some level, there's a somewhat entitled society when we're all online, like, displaying our opinions. Where in this situation, we just don't know yet. And we should probably wait for more information before we're, saying anything on this girl's
I
wall.
agree. Wait for more information. But again, if she had waited for more, if her mom hadn't been proactive, it would have been forever.
Yeah, but that's totally different.
I agree.
At the same exact time, as far as waiting, not waiting, there should absolutely be, even remember before when you were talking about the missing persons needed, that should be, if only 1 in a billion people have a bad case scenario that comes from that, such as the case here,
right?
That should still not be a law. We should do everything we can to, protect everyone in the society, and there should not be a holding period because 100,000 times out of a million people turn up. Right. If there's the 1 or 10 or 5 or whatever % that do not, and in those 2 hours they could have found them, screw that. There shouldn't be rules around that. But I get that's really difficult, and I get the bandwidth issue is probably a big issue there. It's just still something that we should find solutions for.
Right, but from the mom's perspective, she feels like if she's not pushing the police department,
They might not even. Yeah.
They might not find her. They didn't find her. Now she's afraid that they're not going to find her killer, or they're not going to find. So it's really,
that's justified. Yeah,
and she's obviously a very active mom and wants to be like find out what's going on.
Right.
So that's the first story.
That's a hell of a story, dude.
Well, I mean, I could have done that Cowboys viewing party murder where 8 people were killed. Did you hear that? No? Or the school shooting today? No.
Man. There was a school shooting today?
Yeah.
Where was that?
I don't know. I looked it up, but it was I had too much to work on with this.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about Teresa Birchfield next.
Okay.
So
final story of the program.
No, there's one more. But they're good. So she's the prominent wife, or she's the wife of a prominent Republican attorney who works as the ethics advisor to Donald Trump. So Trump's
wait a minute. Trump has an ethics advisor?
He does.
Evidently.
Yeah.
That is someone not doing a very good job.
And by ethics advisor, he's the ethics, I'm assuming because he oversees the trust that is managing his companies.
Wait, I thought he didn't put it in a trust.
Well, whatever the entity is that now is Trump Corp.
The company, okay.
Yeah, so
which is Kushner and like Ivanka, right?
I thought it was
they the
Eric.
Principals? Maybe it's Eric.
Eric and the other one.
I don't remember.
Yeah, whatever the.
I don't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah.
Who's the other Trump brother? Eric and
Don
Felden?
Jr.
Felden?
Don Jr. I don't know. Anyway,
Barinthian.
Carl. Bill. Yeah. So he. So she, unfortunately, the wife, Teresa, just got arrested for giving contraband to an inmate at a prison.
The wife of the ethics
advisor. Was giving. How do you think she was caught giving this stuff to an inmate? She's also a lobbyist.
A prison guard?
No.
She's a lobbyist.
Yeah, so she works as a relations officer.
I mean, she was handing it over to them in a.
Well, this guy was
in a Bible.
This guy was a trusted 23-year-old inmate, and he was caught in the back seat of her car while they were sleeping together, and the police had seen something.
Wait, how did he get there?
He's a trusted, so he was allowed to work.
So you're allowed to go off campus as a trusted.
No, just
inmate?
you're I guess to the parking lot.
Okay, so it's she's still like in the prison walls,
exactly.
But in the parking lot, she's doing this guy.
They go to the car, and when the guy gets out of the car, as he steps up, he hands the officer some contraband that was in his hand, and the contraband
because the officer saw what was happening, and and so he was like. Inmate was freaking out, trying to like protect himself the best he could. Hands the contraband over.
Probably, the contraband that she brought him were some new clothes, a bunch of cigarettes, which I think is always the quintessential contraband for prison.
Yeah,
and a bunch of things which he described as workout vitamins. So
Viagra.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
As he said, the deputy said that the inmate exited the vehicle and handed me a bag of brown pills, capsules that he claimed to be workout pills.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah. So after they searched the car, they found some other vitamin supplements, and the inmate had apparently been meeting with Teresa Birchfield for about a month. Birchfield does not have like any permanent, like any prior criminal record other than like speeding and minor traffic infractions.
Right.
So she's a 53-year-old mother of one daughter who goes to Stanford and is the same age as the inmate.
This is insane, dude.
Yeah.
So no one knows how that connection happened? Like, was she working with the inmate on any level, or it was like a friend of her daughter's?
It's very unclear on how they met. And not a friend of the daughter's.
Okay.
And so she's an independent research consultant. She's worked for the FBI, CIA, and
Maybe she was undercover.
defense contractors like Booz Allen Hamilton. Birchfeld went to Stanford as well, Georgetown, and founded her own migraine awareness group. So I guess she had migraines.
Jeez Louise.
Maybe that's why she had to go bang a guy in the back of a car.
Well,
You know?
it's the new migraine medicine.
Right.
Migraine.
Bobby Birchfield, her husband, worked for presidential campaigns such as Bush's and also the Karl Rove Group and Crossroad Group, those are all very heavy Republican firms.
Oh yeah.
He spearheaded getting the recount for Bush in the election with the hanging Chad.
Wait, but wasn't that recount a negative thing for Bush?
Oh no, it got him the election.
Wait, that was the right.
Because that was the
reverse
only
recount.
state in
and Jeb was the
exactly. He also is in charge with Donald Trump of trying to loosen antitrust laws.
Great.
Yeah, so he's a good guy. And he was named the independent ethics advisor for the Donald Trump Revocable Trust as well. So maybe that's different than working for
I don't know.
So she was charged with willfully delivering articles to a confined prisoner. It's a class 1 misdemeanor. She was released on $5,000 secured bond, and she could face a year more in prison. So, dude, if you cannot trust the wife of Donald Trump's ethics advisor, who can you trust?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, definitely, there is a trust involved here, but there's not a lot of trust involved between people here.
I just thought you'd enjoy that little heartwarming trail that lets you know that people are still
that little adultery moment.
They're just good people deep down inside.
Well, so what happened? Are they still together? Or did they break up?
That just happened. That happened over
yesterday.
the weekend.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So we'll keep in touch. We'll keep this one rolling.
So I will say that's how does that get reported?
That got reported.
Who reports that? You know what I mean? Like, how is that even found out?
Oh, it went. That's another. It's a huge story, but it's not hitting the mainstream.
No, right, but I mean, how does that? That's such a personal situation,
right?
Where it's like, I mean, I guess if it's a crime, it gets reported on some level, or.
But it's Anthony's wieners.
True.
I mean, that's personal.
And dude is at a high enough level where people are paying attention to his inner workings, which is why it got covered.
I got a Dr. Pepper problem.
Doing another one?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was not as bad as those other two stories you referenced, and I think we can make it through this.
All right. So now let's just talk about a police officer named Coleman Martin. Coleman Martin lives in Austin, Texas. He had been having some family problems due to depression and told his wife and texted her that he needed to be on his own.
Okay. They had kids?
I don't know if they had kids.
Okay.
He texted her a photo of a suicide note, and then he said he was going to drown himself in a lake by the Mexican border. So she called the police. Since he was an officer, they rallied everyone and their uncle, even neighboring cops from other towns, to try and find him before he harmed himself.
Mm-hmm.
At the lake, they found his car, the note that he took a picture of, and they started searching the lake. At the Amistad Reservoir, which is, I guess, the lake, a mile downriver from his car, they found a raft and scrawled...
A raft?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you like Raph.
Raft.
Yeah. Raphael, Ninja Turtle or something.
Yeah, a Ninja Turtle just chilling out. He saved the day.
I
He's
mean,
like,
turtles
"Oh,
chill on river rocks, man.
They do.
You know?
That's a valid point. And it could have been like a nuclear river. That's how the turtle.
Oh, because
he's like a nuclear.
So he turned into Raph.
Yeah.
But why would he have a red bandana?
Maybe he stuffed it like Walgreens or
Got
something.
it. Okay.
Right. So scrawled on
That was
the
reasonable.
sounds very realistic.
Yeah.
So scrawled on the side of the raft was Martin's name. His date.
Oh, wait. His name?
Yeah, his name.
Like, what'd you say? Scrolled?
Yeah, scrawled on it.
Scrawled?
Yeah.
So, like, with a pen?
Yeah.
I feel like these details are important, and I feel like you're kind of washing right over them.
Well, I'm glad that you're pointing them out.
So
he put his name on the raft.
like in Sharpie?
I assume Sharpie. Want me to continue?
Yes.
All right. So
this is just interesting.
yeah. So he put his date of birth.
What the fuck?
And then the date that the raft was found. So apparently his date of death.
His date was the date they found the raft was
Right.
on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Which is the same day this was all reported.
all the same day.
Okay.
Much faster acting for a police officer than the
Right.
teenager.
Right.
So the pieces of cinder block were found in the raft and scratch marks as if it had been pushed over the raft. So
Scratch marks as if the cinder block was pushed over the raft?
right. In other words,
Wait, it's not like an inflatable raft. This is a boat of some sorts.
it sounded like an inflatable.
Because if it was an inflatable raft,
It seems like it would
pushing
pop.
cinder blocks over seems like it would
Maybe
be
it was a
problematic.
really durable raft.
Okay.
And there was also a cross drawn on the side and using they assume mud stick.
Dude, this is like true detective shit.
Yeah,
man.
it's. So what do you think happened?
Well, that's all I get so far. You're not going to say because you
No,
know
I'm not-
more information.
No, I've got more information.
Yeah.
I've got a lot more information.
So are you asking?
I'm asking
like,
you.
Do you think he even is still alive or not?
Yeah, like what do you think's happened?
I think dude is in a truck on a cliff across the way from the river with binoculars. I think he wanted to see how much people cared about him because he was like insecure about that.
Okay.
So I think he posted up. He's eating like a turkey sandwich with some Doritos, nacho cheese, and he's witnessing how people would react to his perceived death. And I think he's up there considering like how much longer do I want to keep this a secret? He's beginning to feel like bad that he's making these people do work that's like unnecessary when he can just say, chill out, I'm alive. But yeah, I think he's alive. I think he's witnessing and wanted to like go through the motions of seeing how people react to that.
They found him in the wife's freezer. I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
They found him in the wife's freezer.
Seriously?
No. So Martin had a close relationship with a female who was not his wife.
Man, there's a lot of scandalous stories going on in today's episode.
There are. So they learned that around 4 p.m. the day that he reported of the suicide, the apparent suicide.
Mm-hmm.
She told the police that she did not think he was dead, and that she thought that the whole disappearance.
Wait, is this an anonymous call?
This is
the other woman.
Yeah, this is a close female friend who is not his wife.
Okay.
And they stated it that way very purposely because they didn't want to say that she was.
They want to throw him under the bus.
Yeah, but I think
Under the river.
Yeah, under the river.
So, but did she reach out anonymously to the cops, or she reached out non-anonymously to the cops, or the cops were like interviewing people with like clues?
No.
Where did she come from?
No, Raphael, the Ninja Turtle, went and got her. No.
Damn it, Doug.
The police found out through like interviewing the wife and other people that this was a close friend.
Okay, so the wife knew this girl as a close friend.
Yeah.
But it was a lot closer than that.
Yeah, I think.
And when they were interviewing a bunch of people, they found the raft at that point. They were looking for more information. They ended up at this woman, and the woman, while talking to her, says, "I don't think he's dead."
Right.
And what else did she say?
She said that she thinks that the whole disappearance was an attempt to stage his own death.
Hey, this guy. Do I
what
win?
Up?
Do I win
High five!
something
Don't
for
leave
this?
me hanging. Yeah. And see,
Ding, 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 ding,
Ding.
Coins fall from the sky.
And they asked her why she thinks that. And she said, well, she had just received an email from him saying that he had been successful attempting his own
What
staging.
the F?
Yes. So apparently this guy Martin.
This is like Harold and Maude, dude.
Yeah. So Coleman Martin, I guess, is not. He came up with this elaborate scenario, but then emailed the girl, and it doesn't seem that she was somebody who was going to follow him.
Right.
So it's very unclear on why.
So was he trying to get out of the marriage, maybe?
Yeah. It's
or maybe in his head that would work. He was gonna. Well, okay. What did the email say?
Okay. So Martin described how he intentionally staged the scene of his vehicle at Lake Amistad. Rode his bike 8 miles to a convenience store, then threw his bicycle in a dumpster behind the store and took a taxi to the border crossing. Yeah.
Where did he send the email from?
Mexico somewhere.
Whoa.
And they had that in the IP.
I'm thinking more about now as he's staging his own death, how absurd. It's like, it feels like it's like a fifth grader staging his own death.
Yeah. It
and
does.
like, I was even picturing that when he was writing on the side of the raft,
Yeah.
like this like left hand, like broken writing, like chalk pencil.
It just sounds
absurd.
It's absurd. And not only is it absurd, no one who is committing suicide, if they would leave a note,
Right.
They don't want people to come, and unless it's a cry for help.
Well, yeah, and that happens quite a bit.
That
but
does
going
happen.
to the level of like writing all the things on the raft and the cross and the cinder blocks, I don't even really get. Like
The
he
cinder block,
rafted out and then like had cinder blocks on his feet.
Yeah, like
But
tied.
then how would they get back into the boat?
No, they didn't. Like the cinder block, they found cinder
Part
block
of it.
scrapings.
Got it.
Which
And then there were cinder blocks at the bottom of the water.
They didn't find anything.
Oh my god!
They didn't find
that's the body, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They would have found. They were sure they found the body, but
So he goes to Mexico.
so he's. They haven't found. At this point, they hadn't found him.
But the email has been discovered.
But the
or the woman shows them the email,
right,
which says, "I want to know what that damn email says, Doug."
I mean, that's just, he described all this stuff in the email, but they don't really say what the email says.
Oh, he described what he did to fake his death in
exactly.
the email.
And that's how they
There
know.
wasn't like an attachment of an MP3 that was like Nora Jones's "Run Away with Me" or something.
No,
So he really doesn't know if he's trying to like go away with this woman.
but there
Yeah,
was
just wants to get
a map to another turtle costume.
God damn it!
So, half a dozen agencies joined the massive search for Martin, and the fake death angle emerged. So the police association apologized for wasting their time. Other fellow officers feel that Martin was trying to scam the system, and they are extremely angry with him.
But what would he get out of that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't-
kind of like the Bo Bird Dog thing,
Yeah.
where it's like everyone on his own side who are trying to help him were just like really pissed that this happened. At the same time, at this point in time, are they sure he's not dead and someone's not like pretending to be him?
There's more to the story. So,
So maybe he did get murdered and he like people threw him off the trail by like claiming that he was alive in an email that they stole from his computer.
3 days ago, he was caught at the Austin airport flying back from Colombia using his passport. And because this happened I think at the end of June.
Yeah.
So there was, because it was only a misdemeanor, but because he didn't appear to court, there was a warrant out on him.
Oh man.
So he was arrested.
So they could pick up the trace on his passport usage. Yeah.
So he was arrested at the airport. He then was told that he was put on suspension from the police station.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because he's a police officer.
Right.
And he resigned yesterday. And so now he's facing that outstanding warrant and the misdemeanor charge of what was it called? I don't know. It's like basically faking your death.
Sure. Wait a minute. Is that it though?
That's it.
So hold on. Like, has he not spoken? Is he?
No.
Maybe he's not supposed to talk until the trial. Like,
I think
no one has any clue what the hell he was thinking, why he went to Colombia, why he came back.
No idea.
That's so weird.
His wife said that he had been a little depressed, but and that they had some like family problems, but she thought they were working it out.
So maybe he went through a phase of wanting to just get away from it all.
He just wanted to start over, probably.
Yeah, and then when he did that, it wasn't exactly what he had in mind, and he went back to like, oh, I got this family, I got to go back to them, and then he realized I just totally blew it and came back and then got busted.
Exactly.
All right, well, we figured it out.
All right, so so find us on all social media and contact us at contact@vomitingrainbows.com. We love to hear ideas, comments, suggestions, anything. Any sort of turtle doll that you can send to Joe, he would really appreciate that. And
any tips on not super dark stories once in a while, we'll take into account.
Dude, there was only one super dark story.
That's true. You know what? That's true. That last story was actually very pleasant. It was kind of like a mysterious trail of crumbs that we both got to follow in this beautiful audio journey together, and I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that you had something that appeared like it was going to be dark, but it turned out not to be.
Yeah, no, that was a good experience.
Next time that will be the case. But so follow us on as We Vomit Rainbows on all social media. Listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Anything you can do to rate, help us grow.
Are we on SoundCloud?
We are.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we're big, dude.
Nice.
And then today we broadcasted on Twitter, Switch TV, and YouTube. So
we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're blowing up.
Can we like hashtag big like celebrities and stuff that'll then notice us?
Hashtag Kanika Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag Matt Damon.
Hashtag the real Donald Trump.
Hashtag. Is this how hashtags work?
Yeah, if we just keep saying them.
Yeah, they can search by this, right?
Yeah.
When everything's automated, maybe we can, right? Alexa would hashtag.
If
our audio is there,
don't bring her name up.
Alexa,
right now.
hashtag. Oh, I got scared. Alexa, hashtag George Clooney.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
You got to put your mic up to that.
She can't. Alexa, hashtag Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
Did she just turn herself off?
Yeah,
she's just like my girlfriend.
She just turned you down.
Ex-girlfriend.
Oh, wow. Is that? Are we going to start talking about her again?
No.
Is this going to be like? Are we going
to? No.
Can we talk about like exactly what happened and why you don't want to talk about her?
Her name was Alexa, and she got a really good gig doing sound engineering, sound design. No, just audio, just voice stuff. I don't know what it's called. That whole time I was just trying to think of what job would it be. Voiceover. She got a great voiceover gig, and she left me. And so every time I come into this studio, this amazing, high-priced, beautiful studio, I have to sit next to this machine that my ex-girlfriend's voice pops up on every time you accidentally say something that like kind of rhymes with her name. And you imagine what that's like for me, man? I walk around the world and in all these buildings, like I can only imagine what Siri's ex-boyfriend goes through.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. I just thought it was like a voice that you'd feel comfortable with.
No.
Okay. Why? Is that because she did something to hurt you? Did she keep you locked somewhere?
I don't want to talk about this.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening. I hope you didn't tune out a long time ago. Listen to the next episode or a previous one. Bye.